Following John Hunter's recent dramatic video showing storm damage to the new multi-million-pound Headland Sea Defences, Hartlepool TV decided to investigate further. First we talked to Rob Hall of Hall Construction. They're the company who were responsible for building the defences to the HBC design. Mr Hall declined to comment and referred us to Hartlepool Borough Council, who issued us with the following statement. Our engineers are working closely with the contractor and relevant suppliers involved in the Headland Sea Defences scheme to determine why two coping stones on the new ramp leading down to the beach opposite Vane Street have become dislodged. Until investigations are complete, the ramp will remain closed and there will be no public access to the beach at that point. We apologise for any inconvenience this might cause and are working very hard to identify a solution. We were also contacted by an insider who'd been associated with the sea defence construction, but they wished to remain anonymous. This individual pointed out to us numerous faults with the wall. Here are just some of the photographs that we took showing large gaps between the coping stones. Stones misaligned. Cracks in the coping stones. Vertical misalignment between the stones. Surface damage due to stones rubbing together. We were so alarmed at these faults that we sent the pictures to independent councillor Shane Moore. Councillor Moore subsequently met with a council engineer and conducted a site visit and asked questions about these apparent anomalies. We met with Councillor Moore at the headland after his inspection with the council engineer, and here's our interview with him. Please note, we would also have liked to ask Councillor Mike McLaughlin for his views, as he represents Labour and the majority party in the council, but he has made it clear in a previous email that he, quote, does not want to use Hartlepool TV as a media platform, unquote. So here's the latest on the seawall from independent councillor Shane Moore, and we thank him for helping us all to understand this situation and providing what answers he can. We couldn't film right down by the seawall because it was way too windy, but we're here with Councillor Moore. Councillor Moore, you've seen the pictures. You can probably understand why residents are frustrated, but you know you're not an engineer. You didn't build the wall. You're just trying to mitigate and try and figure out a way around this for everybody. When you met with the council engineer, what did he say about the apparent faults?
Well, I think first I'd say that I understand the frustrations from residents. I've been just as frustrated myself. It looks bad, but it's important to remember first of all that we're talking about a 6-metre section of the sea defence, which in total is 2.5 kilometres worth of sea defence work. So yes, it's incredibly frustrating there has been this failure, but it is important to remember that it has only been just a small section of it. As you say there, I did meet with the engineer, the principal engineer today. We had a good walk right round along the promenade and site and checked everything over. The important message to get back to residents really is, and this is the principal message to get back, is that it isn't finished. And I can't stress this enough. Although the promenade's opened, the fences are down and we're able to get in there, the work hasn't finished, and the contractors will be back on site in the spring rectifying a lot of the issues that people have seen.
But where there's like no mortar in between the slabs, isn't that likely to erode over the winter?
The engineers don't seem to think so. It's the section where we're at now. This has been standing now for about 3 years, so it's weathered 3 winters already, and there's been no issues caused from that.
And this is the same company that did it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's been no issues from the section that's been standing for up to 3 years so far. The gaps will be filled, but that can't be filled until the weather turns, because the silica sealant or whatever it is they use, I don't profess to be an expert, it can't be set in this weather.
Is there anything, when the council, agrees the work with somebody, is there like, a 50-year guarantee? I mean, even a washing machine doesn't last 5 years these days, but is there a guarantee that it's going to last X number of years, so at least we can be reassured that it's not, because there's 2 blocks falling out, but we don't know why that is, do we?
I'll address the blocks falling first. We spent quite a bit of time down there having a look at that section. The ramp where that is, that's a completely new ramp. It replaced what were Victorian steps going down there. So the seawall itself has actually been altered slightly. And whilst the design there should have stood up all right, and the vast majority of the blocks there has been some issue where the blocks have came away. There's been an investigation. The engineers believe they've found a fix to that, and in the spring they will be going back down there, and that whole section will be redone and strengthened and to make sure that it's secure going forward.
So could it be more of a design fault than a building fault?
It looks more like an unforeseen design fault because of the change of the seawall there, and the fact that it's changed from steps to a ramp, and therefore it's taking more of a battering from the sea than perhaps was expected. I would say at this point that the ramp is all closed off, so if people could keep away from there and try not to go down there. In the meantime, if any further damage occurs down there, don't worry about it. It's exposed now. So the engineers have said, please don't worry if any further damage is caused to that particular section, because they may expect it with a couple of blocks being missing, but it will all be rectified in the summer. Going to the guarantee side of it, I'm not sure how long we expect the life of this scheme is supposed to be. I'd rather be honest with that than try and wing it. There is, however, just like when you buy a new house, there are build guarantees on the scheme itself. Right. So that will last. I believe it's a full year from the end of the work.
Got it.
And as I've already said, the work hasn't finished yet. So it will be sometime kind of spring, early summer next year that time begins. So any work that still needs doing will be done in the overall scheme of things.
So it sounds like you're really on top of it. Your suggestion is we just take a deep breath, let them finish it, let them rectify everything that needs doing, and then let's just see how we go from there.
I think so, yeah. As I say, there's been a lot of pictures been sent my way, and I've seen it myself with my own eyes. And to look at it, it looks really bad. But ultimately, it's been designed to work this way, and it as I've said, it isn't finished. There is still quite a lot of work to be done to shore everything up and to make it all safe and secure. So let's give it some time. Let's wait until it's finished, and then we'll see where we go from there.
All right, we'll stay tuned. Just one little question before you go, Councillor.
Okay.
And you're going to hate me, but you're Church Street as well, aren't you?
Yes, so I cover Church Street as well, yeah.
Why are there 8 benches on one side?
I'll be perfectly honest, I didn't realise until I was down volunteering in the food bank on Tuesday. I don't know the official answer, but my thinking would be that it is the sunny side of the street, so you would want more benches in the sun than you would in the shade. But let me get back to you on that one.